here we are, Cape Tribulation. We've just got in here today and we've just set up, had some lunch. The girls are going to bed, so I thought I'd come out and check out the beach here. It's it's low tide as you can see, but still pretty nice, pretty cool. So I'll come back down a bit later on today when the tide's up. Might bring the kids down here too, because along the beach here there's all these cool little tree swings, and there's like a, I don't know what you call it, like an oversized hammock just here. Check this out. Actually, I might go have a quick go of that now while no one's on it, but we'll bring the kids back down here a bit later on. It looks like a bit of fun. Alright, maybe it's not for big people. Oh. Anyway, yeah, so that's it's the beach here at Cape Trib, but we'll come back down a bit later on when the tide is up and try a bit of fishing too, I think. So stay tuned, get comfy, and I hope you enjoy the video of our time here in the Daintree and Cape Trib. Enjoy!
So we've just had a swim in the crystal clear Daintree Creek. It's about a 10-minute drive north of Cape Tribulation, where we're staying at the moment, so not too far. There are only a few swimming holes in the Daintree rainforest that are safe to swim in, so free of the big giant salties around here, and this is one of them. So it was a little bit further to walk in than we originally expected, so we're probably not as well prepared as we could have been, carrying the baby and a floaty and a few extra things. But anyway, it's probably just under a 10-minute walk in to the creek itself. So yeah, awesome place to swim. It's mostly kid friendly. I mean, we are in the middle of the jungle after all, so Delilah was able to have a swim, and we could have put Indy in if we wanted to, but she was happy with her snack, so we decided against that. But certainly friendly for the older kiddies. But yeah, that's Daintree Creek.
look at this. Nat's trying to knock a coconut out of the tree. Oh.
It's gonna bud.
Yikes.
Where's
Take 10.
Watch out. See? I hit it.
Hey, Mom. Hey, do you want to crack this one?
What are you thinking Mum's throwing?
What?
So I've just come back to get some snacky snacks, and I thought I would show you where we're camping here in the Daintree. So this is Cape Trib camping in Cape Tribulation, obviously, and we are off grid. That's the van in the background. Actually, the whole of the Daintree, after you hop on the ferry and cross the river, is off grid. So all the businesses here run off generators, which you can hear quietly humming in the background, which is a bit of a shame, but anyway. So we're off grid. You can get powered sites here, but it's actually not the cheapest place to stay. So it's $25 per adult per night, so $50 per night for an unpowered site. But that's okay because this place is absolute paradise. So let me just grab these snacks and I will take you down to where the kiddies and Cam are hanging up. So you're literally camping right on the ocean. Well, pretty much. You just take a little stroll, if I turn this around, through the rainforest to the beachfront out here. And that's what's so special about this area. It's actually one of the, well, I think it's the only place in the world where two heritage listed sites are right next to each other. So that is the Daintree rainforest and the Great Barrier Reef. So it's literally just a short stroll from our campground, and have a look at this. Paradise.
Hey guys,
What's going on out here?
have a look at this.
Mommy,
Yes?
can I have some snacks too?
Lila, where are we?
Where are we?
At a beach.
We're on the beach, we got a fire, we got beer.
We've got drinks. So we're I think initially we were a bit disappointed that we had to swap our whole route and come north instead of heading west to WA because of coronavirus, but the campsites are quite close to each other, so I can imagine in peak season it gets pretty busy here, but at the moment this Cape Trib camping area literally just opened up for the season a couple of days before we arrived, so it's pretty much empty. We have the place to ourselves. We have pretty much the whole beach to ourselves. We were on Cape Trib Beach earlier and there was no one around, so it's just a perfect time of year to visit. It's early April now, and yeah, we haven't had any rain, and we've got the whole Daintree to ourselves, it feels like. So happy days.
Tato.
Tato. So we were enjoying our bevies on the beach and decided to cook the girls' dinner out here because it's so lovely. This is actually Mile Beach out the front of Cape Trib camping, and you can see Cape Tribulation just in the background over there, and Cape Trib Beach is the next beach across. But it's a beautiful afternoon here, and as I said, we've been enjoying it so much we decided to cook the kids' meals. Do you want to zoom in on that, babe?
What do you think of this, Delilah?
Yummy.
What are you having for dinner?
Salmon.
And?
sausage.
Ooh, what else? What's that big yellow thing? Have a look. What's that big yellow thing?
Corn.
Corn on the
Cob.
Oh, yum. Look at that.
Yeah.
So Delilah, what do you think of your dinner? Yeah, what do you got?
It's fishy.
It's fishy, is it? What fish do you think it is?
Salmon fish.
Salmon fish. Alright, and what's Indy got? Indy? What do you have for dinner, Missy?
What's this?
Taco.
What?
Pardon? What is this?
You having tato?
Is it tato and salmon? You salmon? No?
Nope.
Oh, salmon, yeah. Tato.
Pretty nice
Carb.
spot for dinner, girls.
Carb loading. Oh, look at that big boat.
Where?
Look at that.
Morning, guys. I've just come down to a little inlet which is sort of just down the south end of Mile Beach at the front of Cape Trib camping where we're staying. I've been told by a few locals that's a good spot for barra. Spoke to a guy yesterday, he caught a few, so I thought I'd come down and try my luck. So check it out. It's about 7 o'clock. Been down here since about 6, but beautiful spot. Apparently there's also a resident crocodile, so we've got to keep our eyes peeled for that. But anyway, I've had one session down here already. Didn't come up any good, so I thought I would give it another shot. So let's see how we go. So, no fish, no crocodile, but a nice way to start the day anyway. And I actually just caught up with another guy down here, and apparently the crocodile isn't here anymore. He's gone about 30 minutes south of here to Cow Bay apparently, and he proceeded to show me a photo of a horse that apparently was attacked by a large salty, so that's why they think that the croc's gone south. But anyway, it's a pretty confronting photo. I don't know if any of you guys have seen a horse being attacked by a crocodile, but yeah, not cool. But anyway, this is a sign on the way in, the warning sign that the locals have put up saying, you know, caution of the crocodile. So it's not very official, but I suppose it does the job. Enough to scare most people off, I suppose. Anyway, I'll head back to camp, have some brekkie, and get on with the day. So
it all makes sense. Seeing you again like transit was the only routine that fits in here. When my bag was all zipped up, and what would we do when what we've done the most is seeing each other between coast to coast, weekends away, romantic as hell. Can you bring me around when I'm feeling under, when I'm lost or found? Can we make the bender sweeter than all the distance we covered, trying to keep from heart? You're a keeper holding my highest regards. I wonder if trees feel concrete or the sun. When does rain become the river that runs? Can we stop trying to fit these shoes?
So we are on the Jindalba Walk, which is just up the road from the Daintree Discovery Centre. Initially we thought this was a boardwalk and we could bring a pram, but that is definitely not the case. If I spin around, it's quite a steep walk, not necessarily super kid friendly, but that's okay. Delilah's doing alright.
So just a few pointers when you go on these natural non-structured walk. 3 things to remember. 1, get yourself a good pair of hiking boots, $30. 2, make sure you bring your 3-year-old. And 3, make sure you've got a 1-year-old on your back. And then find the steep hills and go.
So this is a 3-kilometre walk, but it's actually really beautiful because, as Cam said, it's an unstructured. Sorry.
Peace.
It's an unstructured track, so you really feel like you're just wandering through the rainforest, which is quite different to the other walks, which were mostly wheelchair accessible, built up boardwalks. But as you can see, there's a little bit of bush bashing with ferns that have crossed the track.
Buttress roots.
Sorry, what are they?
Buttress roots.
Where are the buttress roots, Delilah?
On a tree.
Point to it. Is it?
Wow, well done.
They hold the tree into the ground, don't they? So we're on one of the boardwalks in the Daintree rainforest, and we've come across, let me spin around, what I'm guessing is a fallen strangler fig, which is really cool. So we saw the curtain tree fig in Atherton Tablelands and learnt that what these guys do is climb up a host tree and eventually strangle it, and this looks like a great example of a fig that's done just that. As you can see, like, the host tree is completely gone, so it must be quite old, because all that's left is just the hollow inside of the strangler fig, which has now unfortunately also met its demise and fallen over, perhaps in a cyclone or who knows, but how cool. So we are pretty pumped. Today we are doing the Bloomfield Track, which is a 33.7 kilometre 4-wheel drive track linking the Daintree, Cape Tribulation to Cooktown. So you can either go around via the highway, which is 3 to 4 hour drive on bitumen, or you can take the coastal Bloomfield Track. We were wondering whether we could bring our caravan up here. The conditions change wildly depending on whether there's been recent rain, wet season versus dry season. So we're not really sure what to expect. We decided not to bring the van, and already I'm kind of glad we didn't, because we'll pan around. This is just the very beginning of the track heading towards Daintree Creek. You can't really see it at the moment, but there's already quite low lying vines and branches. So I don't know, maybe in the dry season you could get your van through here if the conditions are ideal, but we decided not to risk it because it's only really just the tail end of the wet season. What else about the Bloomfield? You can I downloaded an e-book with points of interest and telling you a bit more about the track. But yeah, we're super pumped to drive this way to Cooktown, and we'll show you what it's like.
Cool, let's go. So I've just come to the first creek crossing here at Daintree Creek. This is the first of many creeks, but as you can see, it's a pretty decent little rocky causeway. Looks like they've built it up. Pretty shallow at the moment. We were up here the other day, the water was a bit higher, as you can sort of see up here, so pretty shallow, looks easy, but I think there's a few more along the way, so we'll keep going. Just come out the other end of the Bloomfield Track into a indigenous community. Actually can't remember the name of it at the moment, like Woogle, or anyway, I will check it up soon, but apparently there's some waterfalls here, so I'm gonna have a quick look. Girls are in the car, and see if they're worth coming up with the girls and checking out. I think it was certainly worth a little walk up here. I might bring the girls back, but check out this. This is awesome. Look at that. It's absolutely pumping. So nice. It's a shame that you can't swim here though, but yeah, look at that. That is awesome. I'll just check with Nat what those falls were called. Hang on. What were the name of those falls? And where are we?
Wujul.
Wujul?
Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I had access to this book. Oh, you call them the Bloomfield Falls.
The Bloomfield Falls in Wujul. That's it.
Yeah?
Cool.
Blew them in again, poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. He had whiskers on his chin. And a rock in the wind that blew them in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright guys, we finally made it. We've come as far north in Queensland as we're coming. We've just arrived at Cooktown, and we've come up to Grassy Hill Lookout, and we've actually just come from the Sovereign Hotel. We had a bit of lunch down there, which was great, after driving up the Bloomfield Track. But yeah, we're at the top of the hill in Cooktown, and this is as far as we go, Delilah. We're not going to go any higher in Queensland.
Why not?
Because this is it. We're king of the mountain. Have a look around. Look at this. It's been a great time, hasn't it, Delilah, up here in Queensland?
Can I hop up there?
So we've got about another 2-3 hours to head back to Cape Tribulation, where we'll stay till Friday, and then we'll start making our way further west. But yeah, this is it. This is as far as our journey goes. So yeah, hope you enjoy the videos. I thought I'd give you a bit of a review on the Bloomfield Track yesterday. It's a pretty big day by the time we got back. We're pretty knackered. I was exhausted. Didn't sleep much the night before, so yeah, pretty hammered. But look, in summary, awesome day, big day. Spent about 6 hours in the car, I suppose, just in travel. 4 hours up there, but only 2 hours back. So along the way, there's actually a few points of interest. So there's a bit of a map, a few little stop-offs that you can check out, views, figs, cassowary locations, swimming holes, etc. So yeah, you do need to allow about 4 hours to comfortably get through it. We went through a few creek crossings, few had water in them, few were dry. But I guess the big question for us was, would we take the caravan through? Because we were thinking about running up from Cape Trib to Cooktown via the Bloomfield with the van so we could stay a night. Instead we just swapped out that sort of trip for a day trip up to Cooktown. But yeah, look, would I take it through? Probably not. I don't think it was worth it. Was the road in good condition? Absolutely. It certainly wasn't as adventurous as what we were expecting. Really well maintained. Maybe they've just graded it, we don't know, but yeah, super well maintained. Few little rutted out bit, washed out bits. Most of the creeks were pretty good. Water was only maybe 2 foot high at the most. Few dry creek crossings which were a little bit rocky, but yeah, easy. I think probably a 2-wheel drive car could have got through. There were some steep hill climbs and steep descents with a gradient of I think 30 or 35 was probably the steepest. So a few signs advising you to throw it into low range to get up and over. But in saying that, a lot of those steep inclines and declines were they're all tarred, they're all bitumen, so they've really built the track to, I guess, weather all conditions up here. So apart from that, there were a few little windy stretches, a couple little hairpins. Some of the descents were still on gravel. They're probably the biggest concern, I think. Like for us towing 23 feet, they might have been a little bit uncomfortable. So like steep down hills, hairpin corners, and then some narrow tracks that you can't overtake. So like if you confronted another van coming in the opposite direction, I think you might come a bit unstuck. But look, in saying that, if we had a smaller van, like 17 or even a camper trailer, I think you get through no worries. So yeah, still a fun day. Wasn't as exciting as what we're expecting, but in saying that, still a beautiful drive through the Daintree. So but yeah, highly recommend it. Fun day, and there is as I said, a couple of swimming spots, or one swimming spot along the way. So anyway, that's the feedback on the Bloomfield Track, and yeah, enjoy. So it's day 6 for us today here at Cape Trib camping, and we're about to pack up and get out of here. Well, we are packing up, so we're almost there, and it's time for us to move on and start heading west. But before we do, I just want to give you a quick rundown on our little battery solar setup here. It's nothing huge. We looked at doing a big lithium setup, but realized that it probably wasn't necessary for our needs. But look, we've been here for 6 days. Our batteries haven't dropped below 80%, which has been really good. One thing that we did decide to do a few weeks ago was to put an external Anderson in so we could have a portable fold out panel, which has been pretty much a lifesaver here. So we've only got 2 120 amp hour lithium batteries, and then on the roof we're only running 2 170 watt panels. So 340 watts on the roof, 220 amp hours of lithium, and then we've decided to throw a 200 watt solar blanket into the mix as well. But you can see here that where we've camped, we've got these huge trees above us, so that's actually east out there. So we don't get any sun on the solar till probably like midday, 1 o'clock, and then sort of over here in the west we lose it about 4:30. So we're not getting that much sun on our rooftop solar. So around the back here, around the side here, I've just thrown this little blanket on the ground, 200 watts. It's been awesome. Little lead straight back up into external Anderson. So yeah, this little guy here will get sun from 10 a.m. And then it'll get a bit of a boost from the panels on the roof sort of from around midday. So yeah, as I said, it's been awesome. It's worked really well for us, giving us a bit of confidence going into WA. We weren't sure whether a little setup would get us there, but yeah, it's been awesome. Hasn't skipped a beat, and as I said, haven't dropped below 80% since being here for sort of 6 days, 6 nights. So thumbs up from me. Awesome.
So we are leaving the Daintree today, and this is pretty much a wrap for Queensland and the east coast of Australia. What do you think, bub?
Yeah, it's been great. 6 days, awesome. It's going to be a bit of a shame to leave the coast, but yeah, pretty keen to see some of the inland. And yeah, it's been awesome.
So Delilah, what were your favourite things in the Daintree rainforest?
Cassowaries and swimming and the fanfare.
Oh, you like the fan ferns? It's so fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace.
Another little fun fact, I think Nat spoke about it before, but all the off-grid, the diesel jennies and solar and stuff going on over here, I was a bit oblivious to it before we got here, but apparently they use over 400 million litres of diesel a year just to keep all their jennies going through I think 300 residents they've got here, and several small businesses and tourism, so it's pretty crazy. Looks like they're looking into ditching the jennies and putting a hydrogen solar battery storage system in, so it'll be interesting to see what they do there. But yeah, bit of a fun fact. And just going back to the batteries before, just to give it some context with our little setup, we weren't overly conservative with the usage. Like, we run a compressor fridge, we run 4 Sirocco fans pretty much all night, lights, music, cooking's gas, so that's not an issue. So yeah, little system, but it's yeah, it does really well. It packs a bit of a punch, so very happy for us. No need to upgrade, and yeah, thumbs up. And just a heads up, with towing a van from the ferry up to Cape Trib, it's about 30-40 minutes, pretty slow, but the road's pretty good. The first 15 minutes is quite windy, yeah, tight turns. Just got to be careful, especially towing a big van like ours. Just watch out for the low hanging branches and the rocks sort of sticking out from the inside corners. But other than that, it's a really good run. I was a little bit worried on the way over, but yeah, nothing to be worried about. Once you get through those windies, it's pretty straight and narrow like this. So happy days, easy.
Feel change coming, the winds be swinging around. I feel the wind beckoning to come along.